Let's make fondant with no marshmallows. Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm gonna be making some fondant and I'm not gonna be using any marshmallows. So basically what we need is powdered sugar, corn syrup, Tylose powder. This is cornstarch, some shortening, water. This is at room temperature, and gelatin, no flavor. Also, we're gonna be using some glycerin. This is edible glycerin. This one you can buy from Amazon. I got it from Amazon, but I think my understanding is that you can buy it in pharmacies, if I'm not mistaken, but just check that it says edible glycerin. Okay, so I'm gonna be using my gelatin. First of all, I'm gonna put my water and I'm gonna be diluting my gelatin. First of all, it needs to bloom, so we need the water. We need to hydrate it. So I'm gonna mix the water with the gelatin. So I'm gonna let it bloom for about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna put it on the side and I'm just gonna wait for this to be ready. In the meantime, I'm gonna grab my sugar and I'm gonna add the cornstarch, and I'm gonna add also the Tylose powder, and I'm just gonna mix it. So my gelatin is already bloomed and I'm gonna put it in the microwave to melt it. But at the same time, I'm gonna put the shortening and I'm gonna put them together in the microwave for about 30 seconds. All right, so what happened is that I ended up heating the shortening for 2 minutes and it melted, so that's good. And my gelatin, what happened is that I heat it up for about a minute, so it spilled, so I had to redo it, but now it's here. So I'm gonna put it here and I'm gonna add the shortening, the melted shortening, the light corn syrup, and I'm gonna add also the glycerin. All the measurements, you can find it in the description box below. So if you wanna add color, now is the time, or you can include it also with the mixture of all the liquids. That would be a smart thing to do. So now that I'm adding the liquids, it's time to add also the flavor or the flavoring. I'm gonna be using almond extract, but also my recommendation is to use clear vanilla extract, so it changes the flavor, because if you don't, it's gonna taste like gelatin, so it's not a good thing. Now it's time to knead the fondant with our hands, but my recommendation is to put some shortening on your hands before you start doing this. You can also add color after you're done with it, but if you know that you're gonna cover a cake in one color only, you can mix it right away, so you don't have to knead the dough twice. So you think at this point that you need a little bit more sugar. If it's too soft, way too soft, that it's very, very sticky, you need to add a little bit more sugar, powdered sugar. Just don't go overboard by adding extra powdered sugar if you think it is too soft. The thing is that right now, since the gelatin and all the liquids are kind of like warm, it's very pliable, and you might think that you need to add more powdered sugar, but the case is that once the gelatin and all the liquids cool down, it's gonna get a little bit hotter. It's not hard, but it's gonna be just the right consistency to work with. So my recommendation is, if it's a little bit on the soft side right now, just let it rest. And then once you bring it back to room temperature and you start kneading it again, that's when you can add a little more powdered sugar to the consistency that you like to work with. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little Crisco on the top just to cover the surface, and I'm gonna put it on Saran wrap and then on a Ziploc bag. So it needs to be airtight. And I'm just gonna let it rest for about 60 minutes, an hour, more or less, and then I can use it. So let me do that. So if I weigh this recipe, it's gonna give me 2 pounds and 7 ounces of homemade fondant, which translates to 1 kilogram and 100 grams. So when you get the fondant out of the fridge, what you can do is you can add, first of all, you need to let it come to room temperature and then knead it. And when you're kneading it, you can add a little bit of shortening. There's people that also add a little bit more sugar. If it's sticky, which I don't think it's gonna be sticky, but you can do so. And to roll it out, you can use either shortening or some powdered sugar. And I like to use cornstarch. But the only thing is that if you're working with white fondant, that's good, the cornstarch. But if you're gonna be working with any other color, I suggest that you use powdered sugar, because the powdered sugar, you can use some steam, and the steam is gonna take care of the white color of the sugar. It's gonna dissolve it, and you're not gonna have a lot of trouble with the sugar as if you add the cornstarch. All right, guys, I hope you like this video, and please give it a like, share with your friends, and I will see you next time. You take care. Let me know if you like it. Bye.